I'm not against anyone, but Simon Ekpa and his friends destroying Igbo land. See,
Who is Simon Ekpa? Please, can somebody introduce me to him?
Yeah, Prof. I will try my best. Simon Ekpa, I've tried to restrain myself from things like this because I also see it as counterproductive. In the struggle for Biafra, we have so many players and so many actors. And in a freedom struggle like this, it has so many moving parts, okay?
Sure.
And people do a lot of things, just like in warfare, that are not conventional, okay? But it's all geared because your enemy is also adopting so many methods that are really, really affecting you. If somebody decides to disobey the law and do things unlawfully, sometimes you have to take some measures to counter what they're doing. So Simon Ekpa appeared on the scene and was very, very productive in pushing the Biafra agenda. But I can tell you categorically, I tried to reach out to Simon, privately until the point where he blocked me. And then he chose the path that he decided to choose, which for me is very, very unfortunate, very, very unfortunate. He's gone around, he makes videos about me, he disses me. I didn't want to engage in two of us throwing banters because at the end of the day, it's the enemy that is laughing at us and enjoying those kind of things. So I don't like playing those games online, but I would just say clearly here that the path Simon Ekpa has chosen is utterances, the orders that he dishes, about on social media because of the social media followership is different too. So, but you cannot. Simon Ekpa does not have the backing of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He does not have the backing of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer. He does not have the backing of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's family, and yet you are there dishing out orders. What you're doing is costing people's lives. People are dying, and he will be responsible down the road for his actions. We are all going to be responsible for all our actions. Igbo people, Sinangwacha also, a go mile. At the end of the day, we shall see whether the end will justify the means. That's all I can.
I'm going to speak from a mother perspective. From the question of they try to raise, it triggers something. And as a counselor, I can realize that there are bottled anger inside of you.
It triggers anger, my mother and my sister. And I don't want to hear anything emotional. This is not about emotional. This is a struggle for freedom. Let me finish my question. Go ahead.
There are bottled anger because of what Nigeria has done to you. And it has done to many of us.
And you can't sit down and watch that.
So, Echo, can you make your question?
If we want our people to sit down at home, what foodstuff have you people arranged that will sustain them for that number of period? Because this Western world we all live in, when they have a cause for us to sit at home, they make sure they make provision for health, for emergency, for food, for water, for all these things. If you people have not made provision for this, I will say what you guys are trying to go into, it is evil, it is wickedness, and it is callous.
May I ask you one question?
Never do that. He has never done that when he was out of the prison.
Can I ask you a question?
Oh, God.
Can I ask you a question?
Echo, hold on.
Do you have a
Can I ask
question?
you a question, madam?
Go ahead, Simon.
What country are you? Which country are you? I think she's muted.
Yeah, she's in the United States. I know. She's here in the US.
No, let her answer by herself.
Okay.
Which country are you?
US. I'm in Aurora, Colorado, US.
Okay. Thank you very much. Do you know that the United States got independent from Britain? Are you aware of that? Can you unmute her, please? Can you unmute her? Very, very important.
Okay, go ahead.
Because she asked me a question and she made a comment, so I want to respond by asking a question. She has not answered me. Is she aware that the United States got independent from the United Kingdom?
United States fought the India to take over their land. That is the history of
So am I wrong when I say that the United States got independent from the United Kingdom? Are you saying that I'm wrong?
The question I'm asking you, I'm not saying don't take
I know the question you ask. Can you answer me?
What provision have you made to feed them for 5 days to stay at home?
My sister and my mother have asked your question. Can you answer me?
They are not providing food, shelter, and emergency for them. What you are doing is evil and it is callous.
Agreed. You are going to your question. Your answer will address what you are saying.
I come from Delta State, so notice I far from now.
I know, but you reside in the United States. You
provide food for them. Provide water, everything they need so that they can sit comfortably and obey your dictatorship.
Thank you. So
you are not even better than the people you are condemning.
Thank you. All right. Now, can you answer me? Do you agree with me that the United States got independent from the Great Britain?
I not read history, reach there.
Oh, you are living in a country where you are enjoying the security, you are enjoying everything, and you are telling me how the United States.
I am not saying do not do your 5 days, but make provision for food. Make provision for emergency in case woman might get belly won't born. In case my grandmother fall down. Make provision for that. If you don't make provision for it, you are evil and you are wicked.
Can you now not be hypocrite?
I am not hypocrite.
Okay, now can you answer me?
What you do, I will make food. I will make provision for food. I will make provision for medical emergency.
All right.
If you cannot do that, you are evil.
What's going on, Rudolph? What's going on?
Since she cannot answer me, I'm going to address her because it shows this is exactly example of Nigeria. They are never truthful. Now let me educate this woman. America got independent. I will respond to her. America got independent from the United Kingdom. Before that, they fought wars. During the time this war was being fought, there are different mechanisms that America used. And in a state of freedom fight, you do not expect everybody that is fighting for freedom to get everything right. And I do not believe that during the time America was fighting the Great Britain, they were providing for the people of America. This is something I want you to know. And so
they were providing. Were you there?
Were you there? Well, they were not providing. Now, the point here is that this woman is living in America where America fought a very brutal war with the United Kingdom, with the Britain.
I'm not saying I provide food for my people.
I think you are not being, I need to address her.
I muted her. Go ahead.
Because this is history. When they sit like this, they will tell you the Western world is providing for people, yet they do not want to go through what the Western world went through. They do not want to go through what America went through before they can provide for their people. America did not fall from heaven and start providing for their people. They went through just the way diamond and gold went through the hell, the fire, 1,000 degrees of fire to become what they are. They went through those things, and that's what we are going through today. So the day you wake up is your morning. America did not start providing for their citizens, yesterday.
All right. Simon.
That's what we are doing now. So we are going to make sure that we fight just like every other nation fought and got their independence. We are going to fight that way. When we have succeeded in getting our independence, we can now talk about providing for our people.
I don't know. I don't know if some of you saw a video of one guy that climbed. I think it's a water tank, a tall water tank or whatever, a tower, and dropped from there and died. Just committed suicide. When we are sick, we go to hospital, we take care for our body, but we don't take care of our mind. Some of us, to get out of situation, they smoke Igbo. Some people engage in sex. Some people drink. that's why we deal with our stress or our emotions, saying things that bug us. Our mind is it has to be treated. And I mean, the people criticize the church a lot, but they don't know what they do for people. They take care of their I don't know if you have seen any church people that commit suicide. They don't. You have your work. When you are stressed or whatever, when you want to get away, you go to your work and just do your work. You get away from it. But these people are suffering. They don't know where to go. They go to treat their emotion. They go to church and they give them hope. Just like people engage in dope, some people engage in hope. They are basically the same thing. We have people who say hope. So they give them, what they need on Sunday. They give them their medicine on Sunday. Some go on Wednesday and get them, the Wednesday one, the midweek one. But it carries them, it carries them along. They have hope. They keep living, they keep trying. So that's what the church, does. What Christianity, Christianity or whatever, or religion, what it does to, for people. So if you don't understand it, you have problem. Because you yourself, you engage in so many other things to get your mind, steady. Anyway, but some of these people, people that sell this hope. Some of them they have the issues themselves. They have their own problems. Some people they live. They want people to worship them. They are lacking in so many things. They live on that. Sometimes they make money off of it. Just like somebody like he's somebody who's lacking in something. Something is wrong. He's so happy. If you go to him right now, he's so happy that someone that people are listening to him. That people obeying him. Narcissists. That's the kind of people. Some people sadist. That's the kind of people they are. They're happy when other people are hurting. It makes them happy. People obey them. So that's we have those kind of people. That's what is happening in Igbo land right now. I've been saying this. Nnamdi Kanu, no matter people like him or people obey him, I'm not, because anybody who I believe that is not smart enough, you have an issue. You are in another land. You know about Africa. You know about Omarodiko. You are smart. You're telling people, that Buhari is Jubril. You don't have evidence. You keep perpetuating this lie. But Buhari Jubril. You reverse his picture. His ear, where he had problem in the left ear, it goes to the right ear. You tell people, see, I'm telling you, the other Buhari, it was in the left. You keep telling these people this. You are smart. You are leading people. How can you be this dumb and you are leading people? How can you be this dumb and leading people? And then you say Jubril. Eventually, he's not Jubril. These people, they don't know. They are not critical thinkers. They don't think. Right now, what we have is an administration that that they hate Igbos. They want the downfall of Igbos. That's the people you have right now. And also the world has converged. We have Ukraine. We have economic meltdown. Nobody's listening to whatever it is happening to Africa. This is not the right time to engage in all this, killing, just killing your own people for the world to live. Then nobody's paying attention. You're gonna be killing your people. All of them will die. Nobody will come to your aid. So you are just wasting your time. You have to be to find out what is happening right now. What do we do right now? Is it good to for us to make some concession for this struggle? And then maybe later, Nnamdi Kanu will not come out. Buhari will not reason. No matter what you do, these are Igbo haters. They will not reason Nnamdi Kanu. Why not wait for another 6 months or whatever? 4 months. Buhari will be out of power. We know that in the next government that will come will release Nnamdi Kanu, no matter what. Not even if Peter be Tinubu what's his name? Atiku. Only person I know that will not release Nnamdi Kanu probably Kwankwaso, if you want. But we know that if these people they will release Nnamdi Kanu. So no, why not wait? Why do you keep inflicting pain on your people still? Even during the World War, if in America, if they're fighting during the Christmas, they had a Christmas truce so that people will celebrate Christmas. But during Christmas period, when you know that that's the height of celebration for your people, you lock them down. You lock them down. What kind of person are you? I mean, is Trump better than you? Are you a devil's apprentice? You know, these people that they see the hope, they see like, you know, majority of Southeasterners, they've seen hope in P2B, and you want to deny them this hope just because you want to, you know, feel that people respect you, that people listen to you because of what you are lacking in yourself. You are lacking psychologically. You are not all right. Something is wrong with you. You need to see a psychiatrist. You need to take your medication. Stop killing people in the Southeast. Many people have died. People don't go to hospital because, you know, like, you call people, baby, you send them message in the East. They have to plan so that you will not be on Monday. So that, you know, people are sick. They pray to God that they don't get sick on Monday. What are you inflicting to people? Go to other struggles. Colombia, the facts, they fought. They were killing their own people. They got tired. Nigeria, well, nobody is coming to your aid. Get that into your heart. Biafrans, people are PIPOP members. Nobody is coming to your aid. Nigeria will send bombs there. Nobody will intervene. The West will not say a thing. Because they've described it as a terrorist organization. And right now, the world has converged on some issues. Terrorism. If you are inflicting pain, if you are carrying arms, you're a terrorist. So I don't know what, you know, we have to do. Some people who are saying that Igbo leaders should do and talk to them. Mbazulika Mechi, he died. He went to Buhari and they begged him. What's his name? Former governor of Anambra. All of them, they went to him and they begged him. And they Mbazulika Mechi told him, give him, you know, release him to me. And you know, that's what you have to face off. Think, who are you fighting with? Find about their psychology, the way they reason, the way they think, so that you know how to deal with them. But you are not reasoning, you are not thinking. These are Igbo haters. They will not reason now. They cannot. Okay, the court gave the Supreme Court rule yesterday, the other day, that you know, the Naira policy, that they should continue using Naira. Malami said that, they will obey the court order. But the court has said that they should release Naira. They have not obeyed that. So don't you understand that something is going on? Read the psychology of people are dealing with. You know how to deal with them. Don't be stuck in your own ideology, your own philosophy, your own way of doing it, so that it, you know, sit at home. Come back and, you know, appraise your situation. What is happening? Are we realizing some results? If not, change your strategy. Don't be stuck on it. And they kill your own people. They are dying. There is no food. There is hunger. I don't know. I'm just tired, bro. Thank you, guys.
People to it. Yeah, I cannot fault the people for choosing to defend themselves. I cannot do that in good conscience. But when they say something like what you just said now, people are dying already. So if by our action more people die, well, it's not bad because we are fighting to make things better. People are already dying. What do you say to that? Like someone said that if you stay at home, you saw the video, if you stay at home for 1 week or 2 weeks, I mean, you're already suffering. So maybe that's a price to pay. I hear that a lot. No. I don't buy that nihilistic philosophy. It's a very nihilistic, it's a very dangerous philosophy. Anybody telling you that is either a sociopath or a raving mad man. I make bold to say that. Anybody telling you because you're suffering already, then you can continue whatever I do. No. Listen, we have to be very careful on the people we'll listen to. Okay, that you sit down in the comforts of your room. Let this person saying that travel to Nigeria and sit at home with his people, not sitting in the comforts of his room to declare whatever he wants on people he has not even visited in a long while. Go there. If you are a general, go and lead your troops from the front, not sitting back somewhere where you're enjoying the comfort of an economy that is stable or a country that is at peace. And then you are issuing threats and all what. No, you don't. You can do that kind of thing. People are dying in real time, and you are wrecking lives and histories of people. Yeah, that people. This is where people could. And I always believe in dialogue. There could always be a common front on effective strategies of combating the encroachment on the land of the people. But you don't punish the same people you are claiming to defend, or because you want. No, there are other agendas in play, other than the love of the people that we claim to. There are ways. We have elected governments. we could hold this government accountable.
Let's see another from another person who is Igbo weighing in on the upcoming election and get your take on that.
This is the 4th day of October 2022. Some of you have been asking how the election will affect the Biafra restoration next year, 2023. And this is what I have for you today. As the Nigeria state, terrorist state, are planning to conduct the election in 2023, Biafra people are preparing to exit Nigeria. And the exiting Nigeria will start from stopping Nigeria election in Biafra territory. So we are going to fight to make sure nobody will vote in Biafra land.
All right. You are familiar with Simon Ekpa?
Unfortunately, no.
You are not?
No.
Okay. Oh, he's the leader of a faction of IPOB,
okay,
the indigenous people of Biafra. So he's saying that he and his group will not allow election in the Southeast. What do you think about that?
Okay, two things. I think he says the faction of the IPOB, right?
Yes.
And he's making these ex-cathedra pronouncements. The point is, who sent him? The Igbo have not decided as a group that they will not have elections in Igbo land. You understand what I'm saying? One of the things that I like always to put at the fore of every agitation is the will of the people. I am, as Igbo, as the next person, I am against the injustice that have been meted to the Igbo as a people. But I have not been summoned to a meeting. And I am Diopala. Yeah? I have not been summoned to a meeting in which they have said to me, the Igbo have decided that we are leaving Nigeria tomorrow and that there will be no election. When we come to that Congress, everyone would say his own piece like we do in Igbo land. And then when we say Igbo, kwenu ya, this is what we have decided. Then I'll join Simon Ekpa in stopping elections in Igbo land. Okay? But until that, I think he's just probably speaking his own mind. And he has a right to that. However, this is what I really like to urge the young man. I want him to put his ears close to the ground and he will hear the sounds of the rustle of the ants. They who put their ears on the ground will sadly hear the rustle of the ants. The ants are telling us a different story today. People are saying, come, let us see the end of this situation. Let us see if there is a need for plan B. We know that in Igbo land, that you cannot sustain an agitation unless there is community involvement. Otherwise, people would send you behind the backyard and send you to Igwenga. You go on a long journey. Yeah, that's how we do it. Okay, so I want them to understand that there are also counter forces in Igbo land, unless the Igbo agree that these counter forces in Igbo land are as active, okay, and can be activated, and can actually very easily be activated because the federal nature of Igbo society gives each town autonomy to act, invokes the leadership of the actual leadership of each town, okay, who are often hidden behind the shield of all this noise. They come out and say, end this matter. That's when we see people act, and they will act. People have actually said, let us watch what happens. I know that there are so many meetings around Igbo land dealing with this question of how do we respond to these elections, in my view, from what I've heard, most people are prepared to give, okay, this process a chance until they can no longer give it a chance. So I don't think that this threat should be taken. I mean, I'm not saying don't take it seriously, but I don't think that it can threaten the solid foundation of Igbo capacity to act when they choose to act.
What you are saying sounds in a way not different from what Simon Ekpa said on this show a few weeks ago. Let me play that for you, and then I'll get your take on the other alternative, because what you are presenting is one alternative to the Nigerian problem. Other people will have other alternatives. So let me play this and get your take on that. What do you expect will happen? You think Peter Obi is wasting his time running for president?
Peter Obi is not just wasting his time. Peter Obi is, I don't know any derogatory word that I will use to quantify Peter Obi. Peter Obi is not running for president. Peter Obi is only in this race to distract Biafrans. That's all. They want to get somebody from the southeast who will now come as a Biafran, so that it will be on record that in 2023, a Biafran ran for Nigeria president. That's all. So he's not running for president, and he himself knows that.
What if he wins?
Why is he going to win? Is he going to win from your vote?
What if he wins?
No. We are not even talking about winning, because we can't allow election in Biafra land. So if he is going to win, he's going to win from the election, voting from the northern Nigeria, because his running mate is a Mauritania. He's from Mauritania. Are you aware of that?
All right. Where's Tony?
Hello? Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. All right. So the thing is this, okay? People are looking at the country and they are feeling that things are not working. And the Biafran group, whether it's Nnamdi Kanu or Simon Ekpa, they also came to the conclusion that this is not working for them. And they're saying now there shouldn't be election in the southeast, and that in fact they're making sure that saying that people should stay at home during that election. What do you think about their own solution? They are also trying to find a way around these problems you mentioned.
Yes. I will request those who are listening to this session who have the capacity to record, to please record, so that they can have their own independent record, having taken it live from where it was being said. Simon Ekpa and all of those who are running this Biafra restoration business are clear-minded criminals who are not in any way involved in the liberation campaign we wage. I repeat, Simon Ekpa and his SY principal, Nnamdi Kanu, and all of those who are doing one Biafra thing or the other, because we had engaged them to ask them very basic questions. And our interactions with them that ran over a number of years left us with only one conclusion, that these people are not at all interested in anything that might even remotely lead to any kind of salvation or liberation. And what are those issues? What are those issues? What is the meaning, if I were to ask you, Rudolph, what is the meaning of Biafra restoration? You were in New York. You were in that town hall in New York, where I had to pull up one of the professors. Our people, our diaspora people, our Igbo people in the US should listen carefully, because in the days ahead, it will come to when we begin to call names of people who did what. You see, on the Nigerian stage, we have been very cautious, very, taking every care not to call names of people who did the kind of things that will make people stone them, if people were to know even today, some of the people that have been followed around. And so you were there in New York Town Hall, in between our shuttles in Washington, where they were talking about, they said it's not what we are doing that they want is Biafra. They want, we asked them, what is the meaning of Biafra restoration? Is it the Biafra of 1967? Because three basic questions. Where's the map of the territory you describe? Because if you say you want independence, which is what they say they want, where does it begin? Where does it end? The Lower Niger Congress has sat down with 42 different Biafran organizations, starting with Wazurike that recruited all of them. Biafra actualization that became Biafra restoration in 2013 when Nnamdi Kanu set up a broke off from Raf Wazurike. So I'm reporting to you what transpired directly between me and the leader on behalf of LNC and the leadership of all these groups, starting with Wazurike and then Nnamdi Kanu's IPOB. And then Simon Ekpa that joined them only very recently. He doesn't even know where the skeletons are buried in that IPOB. They cannot give me a definition of what Biafra restoration means because they do not have a map of where. Does that Biafra include the present rivers, Cross River, Akwa Ibom, and Bayelsa? If it does not, or if it does, have you sat down with them to agree? Those who did not come with you in 1967, have you sat down with them to agree? We placed an 8-point strategy to tell you how we came to the conclusion that this madness that is now costing us blood. You remember that we shouted all over the place, both in Nigeria and in the international arena. And we went to the homes of the elders, of our Igbo elders resident in the US, telling them that this criminality will lead to bloodshed, the kind of bloodshed was in the East now. Because the few criminals latched onto what was being done to now, the sentiment, the very positive sentiment of the Biafra of life, the Biafra that saved those who were to be killed in 1967. They have bastardized that name in saying that they are going to, I don't know what they are doing, and I came to the conclusion that they are criminals who are only interested in making money and making fame from the pain and misery of a people that are in distress. Those 8 points of a strategy, that was the basis of our discussions with all of them, inviting them. We tried to invite them to bring whatever energies are available into the simple liberation strategy that we put on the table. Those 8 points start with the map of the entire place. We have a map of Nigeria, and we say, we and other people are trapped here. And therefore, how do we get ourselves out of that prison? We are not the only ones. Ogoni is being slaughtered. Ijo is being slaughtered. Tiv is being slaughtered. Yoruba is not spared. Jukun is in trouble. You have Danjuma shouting. And so the nature of the problem is not the one you come and say, oh, give me Biafra. What is the meaning of the Biafra in the circumstance? If the territory you talk about is the one of 1967, then it includes the whole of Ijoland, the whole of Ibibioland, Annan, Efik, and everything in between. And so they have no idea. And to be specific, since Simon Ekpa is a disciple of the Nnamdi Kanu, I don't know what their situation has become now, since they are now suing themselves, pretending that they were not in agreement. Everything he was doing was as directed, as agreed upon between him and his SY principal, if he's still, if he's no longer with them. But I take all this as shenanigans. They set out on the same mission to deceive our people with the propaganda of a totally meaningless Biafra restoration. We have a monster that is sitting on us. We have been able to dissect how that monster came about and the nature of what it's doing. The instrument that enables it to do it is that constitution. The people were not the only ones in that suffering. Everybody else that are trapped here in Nigeria also looking for salvation. And so we showed them a plan by which we had gone around to talk to all the other people in the trouble. Since they were all being killed, they've all been expropriated, their assets have been seized by Nigeria in that exclusive list you saw. And tell us where's the portion you are talking about? Assuming you are not interested in what happens to all the other people, tell us the portion. They do not have a map, and that position is still the same to this date. Not one of them can place a map on the table. Eventually, his principal went and put the map of 17th century, a place labeled Biafra. You know, there was Bight of Biafra in the waters that's now called the Gulf of Guinea. That was his own answer in the meeting I had with him in 2013. I consider it the Simon Ekpa does not exist. That's why talking about him is something of it's like going to discuss what rats are doing inside the gutter. It shouldn't take even 1 minute of our time. These are criminals. And so let me pin it down to the specifics between myself and Nnamdi Kanu at the time he left Wazirike in 2012. Our meeting happened in 2013. Those 8 points, the exact map of the territory you're talking about, the discussions you have had with the neighbors, I mean those who are not Igbo in that setting. You remember all of the territories that now become rivers, Cross River, Akwa Ibom, and Bayelsa today were part of that eastern region. Have you gone to sit down with them? The answer was no. In fact, in terms of map, Nnamdi Kanu said to me that everybody knows where Biafra is. That was his answer to my question of map of the territory. Because people were already being killed in Aba, Onitsha, and other places. People who were made to believe that there's some Biafra that will fall from the sky. No map, no discussion with any neighbor. And on each occasion, on each of the questions, I placed on the table our own answer. This is the territory. There's a map of 1885 that has the whole of Midwest and Eastern region of 1965. That's pre-1966 Midwest and Eastern region. According to ethnic delineations, there was the Igbo territory that extended everywhere. There was the Ijaw territory that extended everywhere. Those people are still in the places where they are. They are Nangdefi. Ethnic nationalities to whom this sovereignty accrue and who are now desirous of having something different from what Nigeria imposed on them in their space. And not only did we have that map, we had also gone around sitting down with them, started from the Oba of Benin, the late Redua, who was a permanent secretary in Gowon's cabinet office that went to Aburi, was one that took the minister of Aburi, Enohoro leading. And at that level, they interrogated what was being proposed to remove the shackles Nigeria placed on all of them in something that could become a federation, a union they discussed properly to work out their future with their neighbors. We went from there to the Uluinwari, to the Amenabos, through the Ijaw territories, all the way to the Obong place in Paris. It took us 6 years between 2003 and 2009 to get everybody to examine what we were offering, different from what Nigeria had imposed on them. And that was Lower Niger concept came in. And looking at what the UN instrument is on the subject matter, it was these nationalities that were entitled to this, sovereignty you are talking about. The third item, the constitution by which Nigeria is occupying your space. You know what they said? Because of course, concerning our neighbors, they told me that the Eastern minorities do not understand what we are discussing, that when they begin to do Biafra, they will come along. That was his answer to me. And then the constitution by which Nigeria is prevailing. He said, oh no, you are still discussing constitution. What else are you, what is the problem that you want to solve? If you do not realize that it is the constitution that tie you up and make you slave in your land, like the apartheid constitution. Imagine if Mandela and Oliver Tambo were not interested in apartheid constitution, yet they want freedom from. That was the kind of answer I got. He said, we are still discussing constitution of Nigeria, that is Biafra he's doing. Then what is your, when this land, assuming you begin to succeed, what is success for you? By what mechanism will it be, actualized or operationalized? We want something that will land in referendum, because we are targeting this constitution. This is our strategy for bringing the constitution to where it can no longer be basis of union, that will then have a log jam that has to be resolved in some way, and that having built an alliance and a consensus against that constitution, a consensus for what to do to recover everybody's sovereignty that Nigeria was holding. Having discussed them in the international circuit, you were there in New York when we were running helter-skelter in that circle. And I was directly involved in how the 2007 instrument that they now call United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples the thing that Nigeria has done to us, the thing that Britain did to us by the 1914 amalgamation was to hijack our sovereignty to fight forward soon after the Lancaster, discussions that that returned some of those things. By 1966, everything was washed away, and they seized it. So, going from that, Nnamdi told me in that meeting of 2013 that anybody who talks about referendum will be killed. I said, no. What is your reason? He said that Nigeria will rig referendum. I said, no. The one we're talking about is not Nigeria and INEC that will do. That we've discussed the UN. This is what the UN says. This is what we've done. And we've been back and forth to make sure that what we're doing was within their view. Or you think it's by accident that the Agnes Callamard mission, you remember the rapporteur mission that came after our 2019 7-month interaction in Washington? You know, you remember there was a UN rapporteur that came to investigate the extrajudicial killings happening in Nigeria, headed by Agnes Callamard. I want those who are listening to make their findings concerning specific. In August of 2019, that rapporteur mission came to the conclusion that what was responsible for the blood flow in Nigeria was the constitutional arrangements of Nigeria that was operating like pressure cooker for injustice, and that Nigeria under that constitution is a threat to global peace, to global security, because Nigeria will snap. It's only a matter of time, and that if Nigeria of 200 million people will snap, that the global community will have an unprecedented refugee crisis to deal with. And so we were able to, make out something that could become a plan that will accommodate everybody, including the Fulani. We had a map of Nigeria to say we must have only, we cannot have a union in which human life is not held sacrosanct.
So I thank you and I appreciate all that you do. Mohammed Aminu said something. I don't want to talk about this sit at home without going deep down into why it was instituted in the first place. People can just go around the issue, jump around it, but one thing is for certain. As of today, 10th of December 2022, there has never been a single Igbo man or woman that has made a single move to achieve Biafra. Let's start from there. And please, some of you may love Biafra too much, you may cherish it. I have nothing against you. But don't try to rob us of our identity as Igbo. There was never any place called Biafra within the current territory of Nigeria. If you pull up that 18th century map they are peddling, go and check where that bite of Biafra is. And the place is in current day Cameroon. If there is any part of Nigeria that would claim that, it would be the north. And that name, where did it come from? It's not an indigenous name to Igbo. Let's even start from there. I don't want to go back into the history, because anyone who knows the Portuguese history of exploration, they will know exactly where the name Biafra came from. It is just the new Mafra. Those guys, those Portuguese, they came from Mafra. You can research this name I'm giving you right now. Biafra, Biafra. That is second. Like you have York in the UK, and you have York USA. Like you have England in the UK, and you have New England in the USA. That's where that name came from. Meanwhile, all this thing about Biafra, I guarantee you there is nobody. Let them bring the document. Mohammed Aminu made mention of the Montevideo Convention of 1933. Go pull it up. See everything that was stipulated over there. 4 articles. 4 articles. And one of them, the most important one, is that before you get a country, it must go through the parliament. And in Nigeria, it will involve both houses of parliament. Then, if you are going to demand Biafra, at least you should have someone in the House of Reps and have people in the Senate and make sure that they have to introduce referendum first into the Constitution, of which it was raised this year. All of the senators turned it down. Everybody. Now, if actually anyone is fighting for Biafra, the first thing is set up a political party that will demand for it. The other way is war. And more nations have been created by war than not. If you check it, since that agreement was signed in Uruguay, 1933. Check every nation, and before you go to war, you would have been prepared for everything. Most of the countries that got their independence through war, check Venezuela, Colombia, all these guys, how they survived, they were partitioned. It was the Spanish, and then after the Spanish and American War, then the U.S. Empire, and one of the secret societies that championed that was the Knights of the Golden Circle. Go check those things. Those things, do you have that backup? No. So you don't have the power to do it by war. You don't have the power to do it legislatively. So why are we destroying our land? Now, go to this issue. There is nothing Simon Ekpa is saying now that Nnamdi Kanu has not said. There is nothing Simon Ekpa is doing right now that Nnamdi Kanu has not done. Our sister African queen, when you see her speak, she speaks passionately, but these voices should have been out there long before now. So many of us saw what was going to happen. And I know exactly every step of the way. This thing they are not saying, oh, IPOB doesn't have this, IPOB doesn't have that. Nnamdi Kanu on earth anointed Simon Ekpa as his successor when he had problem with Uchemefo. Are they going to deny this? They are not going to deny this. He anointed Simon Ekpa on earth. Now, this boy Simon Ekpa is using, it was after Nnamdi Kanu was arrested and the console issue raised so many things that were hidden in the group. Some of these guys thought that he was not, was crying, was lamenting that those boys followed Simon because of money. Now, why was Simon able to petition IPOB and ESN? He started paying those ones and made them know how much everyone was making. That was why you saw Double Lion, War Wager. War Wager was apprehended 3 to 4 weeks ago. Now those two boys they killed at our mama 3 days ago, those boys were War Wager's boys. Now there is a serious crisis amongst them. Go and check. Those of them are Prof, and those of them at our mama, they've been at war. They've been at war long before now. This has been claiming the lives of so many Igbo youth. And we are here playing chicken. We are here pretending as if this is about anything. One, there is nobody fighting for any Biafra anywhere. Quote me. Let them bring the document. IPOB is a some of you IPOB in UK. Why don't you take a trip to the UK company's house? Go to the fiscal office and demand every document, and they'll tell you what that thing was registered as. IPOB Worldwide Limited. And people are giving their lives for this. People are giving their lives for this. Doctor, you said Chike doesn't refuse to come because if you push hard on him the way you push on Simon Ekpa, he's going to disappear and he wouldn't want to disgrace himself that way. So let's just stop pretending as if we don't know what's going on. And this thing they are shouting, Fulani herdsmen killing. The Fulani herdsmen killing that happened at Uzu 1. Those 5 people that took back there, they are still languishing in prison. Go to any good prison and you see them there. All these things, they are shouting Ihamufu, Ihamufu. Doctor, contact Chidi, the guy from BBC News Igbo, and he will explain to you. You know his place is not far from there. All these places, before the camps were invaded, at Osu, all those things happening there, they were shouting Fulani herdsmen, Fulani herdsmen. We know the people doing this, and we are pretending as if it's coming from their side. Now the chicken has come home to roost. The politicians are now divided. Don't you know that Simon Ekpa is laying stake? He's taking his claim to the throne. With this action now, do you know how many politicians that will be making arrangements to use these boys to work in the next election? And somebody here is saying that he was paid by the Nigerian government. So the Nigerian government will pay him to destroy the Southeast. To gain what? To gain what? You now want to give him a bad name.
Quick question.
You want to extricate him from everything about IPOB. When this guy was anointed on air by Nnamdi Kanu, what are we saying? Don't we know what these people have done in the past? Have you checked about? Have you asked your question? What for the IPOB? What made them leave IPOB? Why did those people leave? Did you get the real story, or you just got what the people who sent them away told you? Just like the Igbo history of today is built on lies, starting from what happened between Ifajina and Ojukwu.
Damages, can I debunk?
Why not?
He's getting too
much.
Hold
on, everybody. Let me. We are here.
Ijele, I'm going to come to next week. Where can I meet you?
The lies are just getting too
much. I can't hear him well.
You guys are just not paying attention. Just listen to me. Let me. I see you again. Put your hands down.
I think I will have to change my device because I can't hear well from
Ijele. Okay, Ijele, change and come back. Okay, I'll wait for you.
Pardon?
To come back. Now, to come back again. Change your device and come back. Okay.
So, Dammit, can I ask a quick question?
No, hold on. By Simon Ekpa. You know Simon?
Yes.
How do you know him?
Oh, through Mazen Nnamdi Kanu.
Okay. Have you been in touch with him? Is he speaking on behalf of, no, not on behalf of you or anybody, but what is the position of the World Igbo Congress to the position that he's taken in the Igbo situation on the election, in this coming election in Nigeria?
The position that who is taken, Simon Ekpa.
Yeah, which is that there shouldn't be election.
Let me say upfront that World Igbo Congress does not support no election in Igbo land. But World Igbo Congress actively promoting election in Igbo land. Let me say that I have even had opportunity to communicate with Simon on certain issues, especially the impact of this sit at home in Igbo land. First of all, I even communicated with him a certain meticulous study. You know, I am an academician, and therefore we don't work with sentiments, we work with empirical data. We have a document, the Southeast economy, the cost of insecurity and sit-at-home protest on the business environment. We have a first copy, one of it already published, and developed and published by Dev East Foundation Limited. It's a non-profit organization. They did empirical studies and they have data to show how the sit-at-home have been impacting land. There are so many things connected to that. It erodes confidence in the economy of the Southeast. It generates potential loss of the foreign direct investment, which also includes remittances coming into Igbo land. It very soon, the entire Igbo land, they owe about 412 billion naira. They are struggling to pay back, and they're not finding it funny at all. And the sit-at-home is helping to pull that back and make it impossible for these states to become viable enough to follow or carry out other programs that they've set up for themselves. And they also lead to sit-at-homes, lead to collapse of businesses in Igbo land, and that increases poverty. Poverty is farmers, traders, and so on can no longer make ends meet. These are all the impact, and therefore I've communicated with him that saying the sit down at home is impacting us economically, and then if we say there's no election in Igbo land, that means that what befell us with the census is likely to befall us again. But Nigeria will move on. whether or not we participate, they will still do what they want to do. So why not we be part of it, and be able to control or influence how our people vote, and therefore how Nigeria can turn out with Igbo land as a pivotal development.
The second day of our 1 week long historic sit at home for the demand to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and of course in preparation for our Biafra self-referendum. I am sitting at home. When they tell you Simon Ekpa is in Finland, no, I am sitting at home. It's me at home. I will sit at home for as long as the sit at home lasts in Biafra land. Thank you very much for this historic moment that we are making in our Biafra liberation. Woto Woto, remain the code. And very, very soon, everything about Nigeria will be evicted from Biafra territory. Mark the word, evicted. These are the people who facilitate the murder of our people. These are the people who facilitate killings for our women and children. And we will no longer allow them to stay and sleep and wake up while they mastermind the killing of our women and children in Biafra land. So today is the second day of the historic sit at home, and I thank Biafra people for taking up this challenge and making this sacrifice for their future. Thank you. See you in the evening. I am sitting at home. Whenever you see that man with that friendship, or you find your back, tell him that Simon Ekpa is sitting at home. My warning is going to receive it very soon. Thank you.